In front of him, a huge crowd of thousands of people jumped and cheered under bright lights. He stood high on a giant stage, with his hands in the air, and the whole crowd shouted his name. He was one of the most famous DJs in the world, and tonight a whole city was dancing to his music. But it did not always look like this. Once he was just a quiet boy in a small flat in Brussels. So come with me, and let's follow his journey from a small bedroom to the biggest stages in the world. Listen slowly and try to relax. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just enjoy the story. His name was Milo, and he was born in Brussels, the capital city of Belgium. He grew up in a small flat, with his mother, his father, and his little sister. They were not rich, but they were happy, and their home was always full of sound. Brussels was a grey and busy city, with old buildings, trams, and a lot of rain. But to Milo, the city was full of music, if you knew how to listen. He heard music in the trams, in the rain, and in the voices on the street. As a young boy, Milo was quiet and a little shy. He did not say much, but he was always listening to the world around him. His father loved old music, and he had a box of old records at home. In the evenings, his father would play these records, and the flat would fill with sound. Little Milo would sit on the floor, close his eyes, and listen to every single note. He loved the way one song could change how the whole room felt. For his 10th birthday, his parents gave him a small pair of headphones. It was a simple gift, but for Milo, it was the best gift in the world. He wore those headphones everywhere, and he listened to music all day long. At school, Milo was an ordinary student. He was not the best and not the worst. But when it came to music, something inside him woke up. He started to tap rhythms on his desk, on the tram, on everything. He wanted to understand how music was made and how songs fit together. He would take 2 songs and hum them, trying to join them into one. His little sister laughed at him, but Milo did not mind at all. He knew, deep inside, that music was going to be his whole life. He just did not know how, or when, or where it would begin. But it was about to begin, in his own small bedroom. When Milo was 15, he saw something that changed his life forever. At a friend's party, he watched a local DJ play music for the very first time. The DJ stood behind 2 turntables, moving his hands, joining song after song. The whole room was dancing, and nobody wanted the music to stop. Milo stood at the front all night, watching every single move the DJ made. He thought to himself, "That is it. That is exactly what I want to do." From that night, Milo had only one dream. He wanted to be a DJ. But good DJ equipment was very expensive, and Milo had almost no money. So he decided to save every coin that he could find. He did small jobs after school, and he saved for many long months. He did not buy sweets or games or new clothes. He only saved. Finally, after almost a year, he had enough money for one thing. He bought an old, cheap, second-hand DJ controller from a small shop. It was scratched and worn, but to Milo it was pure gold. He carried it home on the tram, holding it tightly the whole way. That night, In his small bedroom, Milo played with it for hours. At first, it sounded terrible. The songs did not fit. The beats did not match. His mixing was messy, and the music jumped and skipped. But Milo was not afraid to be bad. He knew that everyone starts somewhere. Every day after school, he went straight to his room to practice. He practiced for hours and hours, late into the night. Sometimes his neighbors knocked on the wall and asked him to be quiet. So he put on his headphones and practiced without a sound in the room. Slowly, week by week, Milo began to get better. The songs started to fit together. The beats started to match. He learned how to read a room and how to keep people dancing. He watched hundreds of videos online and he learned from other DJs. He made his own short mixes and he shared them on the internet. At first, only his friends and his family listened to them. But slowly, a few strangers began to listen too, and they liked what they heard. When Milo was 16, he got his very first real chance. A small local club in Brussels needed a DJ for one quiet evening. The pay was almost nothing, and only a few people would be there. But Milo said yes at once. This was the moment he had waited for. On the night, he was so nervous that his hands were shaking. The club was small and dark, with only 20 or 30 people inside. Milo took a deep breath, and he started to play. For the first few minutes, he made mistakes, and his heart raced. But then the people began to move, and to nod, and to dance. And something wonderful happened. Milo forgot to be afraid. He felt the music take over, and he gave the little club his whole heart. At the end of the night, the small crowd clapped and cheered for more. It was only a tiny club on a quiet night in a corner of Brussels. But for Milo, it felt like the beginning of everything. After that first night, Milo played at every small club that would have him. He played at parties, at bars, and at little local events all over Brussels. He was still very young, but he worked harder than anyone else around him. While his friends were resting, Milo was practicing or playing or making new music. Slowly, more and more people in Brussels learned his name. Young crowds started to come to the clubs just to hear Milo play. He began to make his own songs, not just mixes of other people's music. He spent long nights in his bedroom, building new sounds from nothing. He shared his songs online, and this time thousands of people listened. People in other cities and even other countries started to hear his music. Then, one day, Milo got an email that made his heart jump. A famous club in Berlin wanted him to come and play for one night. Berlin was one of the biggest cities in the world for dance music. Milo packed a small bag, took his equipment, and got on a plane for the first time. He was nervous and far from home, but he was ready. That night in Berlin, Milo played for a huge and excited crowd. The room was 10 times bigger than any club back home. And the crowd loved him. They danced until the early morning. After Berlin, the invitations began to arrive from all over Europe. Milo traveled to Amsterdam, to Paris, and to many other great cities. Then came the invitation that every young DJ dreams about: Ibiza. Ibiza is a beautiful island, famous all over the world for its music. Every summer, the best DJs in the world come to play on this island. Milo played there under the warm night sky, right beside the sea. Thousands of people danced in the open air, with their hands high in the air. Milo looked out at the crowd, and he could hardly believe it was real. From Ibiza, Milo travelled to the beautiful coast of Italy. He played in stylish clubs in small, pretty towns beside the sea. He played in old coastal villages, with warm lights and clear blue water. Everywhere he went, the crowds grew bigger, and his music grew stronger. But the life of a touring DJ was not always easy. Milo spent many nights in airports, and many days far from his family. He was often tired, and he often missed his home in Brussels. There were hard nights when a show went wrong or a crowd was quiet. But Milo never gave up. He always remembered the boy in the small bedroom. He remembered how much he had wanted this and how far he had come. So every night he stepped on stage and gave the crowd everything he had. Little by little, Milo became one of the biggest names in all of Europe. His songs played on the radio, in shops, and in cars all over the world. Young people everywhere knew his music and sang along to his songs. He was still the same quiet boy from Brussels, deep down inside. But now, millions of people knew his name. And his journey was still not finished. The biggest stages were still to come. Because now, the whole world was calling him. Soon, Milo was traveling far beyond Europe, all around the world. He flew across the ocean to play in the United States. In Miami, he played at one of the biggest music festivals on the whole planet. A sea of people, as far as he could see, danced happily to his music. Bright lights and huge screens filled the warm Miami night. From America, Milo traveled to the deserts of the Middle East. In Dubai, he played on a rooftop, high above the shining city. Below him, the tallest buildings in the world sparkled like stars. Milo had come a very, very long way from that grey flat in Brussels. He was now a truly global DJ, known and loved on every continent. Huge festivals booked him a whole year in advance. Millions of people followed his music and waited for every new song. But through all of it, Milo never forgot where he came from. He never forgot the small flat, the old records, and his first cheap controller. He never forgot the tiny club in Brussels and the 20 people who danced. Whenever he could, Milo went home to Brussels to see his family. And once a year, he paid a special show in his very own home city. He would play for the people of Brussels, the city that had made him. And every time, he saw young people in the crowd, watching him closely. He saw the very same look in their eyes that he once had, long ago. So after his shows, Milo often talked to these young people. He told them his story, from the small bedroom to the biggest stages. He told them that talent was good, but that hard work was even better. He told them to save, to practice, and to never be afraid to be bad at first. And most of all, he told them to love what they do, with their whole heart. Milo knew that fame and money were not the real prize. The real prize was doing every single day the thing that he loved the most. From a quiet boy with headphones to a DJ on the world's biggest stages, Milo's journey showed that a big dream can start in a very small room. All it takes is passion, patience, and years of quiet, honest work. And it can begin anywhere, even in a small grey flat on a rainy street in Brussels. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, watch it one more time. You will understand even more the second time. Subscribe for new stories and keep practicing every day. See you in the next episode. Take care.